something is coming.
Oh, this is a lot.
What have you done, Jackie?
You told me you needed a speaker. I got a speaker.
How do we connect it up?
Do you have the cord to connect the phone to it?
Yeah.
Is it an iPhone?
Yeah, but we have the adapter.
Yeah, we got the adapter to change over to an 8 things.
So we'll be able to hear this pretty well.
Yeah.
As will everyone else on the floor.
Yeah, we're definitely
You'll
going to
hear it until make sure the phone volume's down.
I just said that. Yeah. Nobody needs that to sell.
Especially because it's aiming right at me.
Surprise! You know, if you turn around, it's just a back massage. Oh,
No, that's me leaning against one of the walls in the gaming room.
Now, if any of you guys watched the Kickstarter 9-hour stream that we did, it was all thanks to this guy right here. He was amazing. Yes, you are.
Alright, I'm playing something for my phone battery's at like 10%. Wait. What?
You didn't charge your phone last night?
Yes, I did. No, my
ready?
volume's at 10%. What are you doing?
I'll tell the phone on a computer. Well,
Wait, is that an iPhone running Windows?
You just randomly.
No, I thought it'd be funny. Okay, everyone calm down.
this is a guy that walks around listening to 10 hours of Wii music.
I was listening to 10 hours.
It was pretty great.
Keep in mind the choir we got is like live playing professionals.
Thank you guys.
What's the most expensive ooze we've ever had on an album?
Most expensive. Most expensive. You could do it. Oh, great. I may get notifications as we play it as well.
Oh, that's fine. It all adds to the
Yeah,
experience. It's called All Our Eyes. It's supposed to be. We played this at the live show.
so we have drums, bass, guitar, some violin, other things. Big choir.
2, 3.
She
all
was,
says.
she was outrageously good.
We just had
Like, it's like Aretha Franklin came down for like one more song, and then came with like a band. It was,
we just gotta slide the stuff over to the last chorus.
yeah.
We have to do it. We haven't copied and pasted things that we're gonna copy and paste.
Right.
Yeah, these are all just demos for, I think this was rough 2.
Yeah, it was like our second take or something. But
It's getting pretty close, though.
it gives you the idea that it kind of has like a national vibe to it as well. It's got like a gospel choir to it and stuff, and it's got like a sort of country-esque sort of vibe to it.
I tried to write that to be a song that my church group would be able to play, so I tried to make it relatively simple. I might have to take out the weird timing hits, but other than that, I think I can convince them to be able to do this song. They just don't like new things or change.
The one piece of feedback that I got from Hashtag was that they wanted like more orchestral stuff in it. So for this one, I got to do a bit more stuff with the orchestra, so that there's a lot more of like an epic tone to it as well. I can play like one of the tracks on here called A Fantasy. Basically, you're doing your most disturbed vocal. I'm doing like the most Danny Elfman-esque stuff with the orchestra and choir, and it sounds kind of something like that.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Here in the dream we've awoken, where despite my mind's health I am strong. I can fight for what's right in a basement tonight, and I feel like myself all along. Won't erase imperfections. See how a maid she gets by with one hand. Now open and read what our party will meet, be it water or blizzard or sand. Hunting, stealing, casting, healing in this forgotten land. One is strong but four are stronger. Who can stand in our way? All of this time is not wasted, living stories born of our own minds. May laugh and may weep till the tale be complete, then back to ourselves for a while. Tell you I'm right here in our fantasy, and I belong. When you enter this land, I'm in control. I dictate every army, every foe. Go ahead, take your chances, see what you roll. I'm still alive. Whoa, in the face of 1,000 legions to go, you won't dissuade me. See where I go, crossing the wildest river. Oh, it's the thing that unites us, this fantasy. This
In the orchestra, there was this old Russian Jewish lady. She came in with a violin. She says, I play violin. Why does she play violin? orchestral stuff. There's a lot more in this one for you to enjoy as well.
That was the ultimate sponsor song also, so we wanted to make it as shiny as possible.
Yeah.
We're like, how much of the expensive stuff can we use on it?
All of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much use most of it.
I say very Jethro Tull inspired. Yeah. It's a little bit of Danny Elfman as well. Just a touch. A little bit of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Alright, so did anybody follow? Are you aware of our ridiculous Kickstarter and the new album and the things, or are you guys just hearing about this all for the first time? Raise your hand if you were previously aware that there was a Kickstarter and we're doing an album. Hey, most of them not. So the only way we can afford to do any of this is we have like a cycle down at this point where like, this year I do my Kickstarter, get the thing going, and then next year Fox does it. And this one was the collaboratory Kickstarter, so we were hoping between the two of us we could like, increase the fanciness of the recording session. And we got about 500 people to come together and help us go to a studio in Nashville and hire orchestral session musicians and some choir session musicians. So the orchestra that you hear is played live in Nashville. It's the same orchestra, the same people in the same building that record most video game soundtracks right now. And like, when I say most, like it's a lot of them. It's the last 3 of the Call of Duties.
Was it you said to your kids like they did Fortnite?
Fortnite.
And then all your school kids
Because
were
like,
like,
what? Fortnite? Did you meet them? They're like, yeah. They just, if you've heard if there's any violins in the
did you
scoring.
Did you meet the violin?
I met Fortnite. He was there. Ori and the Blind Forest is the one that excited me the most. And they're going to do the sequel there too, because it's more like indie project.
They've already started doing it.
And you like know the guy, you know the guy who does it. You know all the indie video game scoring people.
I know a few. We can
So
go
the
on.
fact that they're willing to also sit down and play some nonsense that like I made up in my kitchen is trippy and weird and doesn't seem like it's correct somehow. Like I feel like they're gonna come out, you've been on a game show this whole time, surprise!
The Truman Show.
We've tricked you into thinking. So what other do we have a third one though?
Yeah, we could play Not Giving Up.
So
It's one of your older songs as well.
if a fantasy is the biggest song on the thing, like in terms of scope, this one is probably the smallest, it's the most personal. It's just piano, light acoustic guitar,
And a string.
string quartet.
Well, there's more than a quartet.
String sextet. Well, it's 4 parts.
I think there's like 20 strings in
Okay, there's a lot of strings.
So it's split into 4 sections.
It's intimate. Is your phone dead now?
I need a little dog. No, it's just not fun.
It's probably just like downloading itself because it's dropped off.
And they phone won't play music and dance comp is doing the day the music died.
Oh dear.
Oh boy. Just like turn it, shut down the program and open it again. There's no more.
Plug it.
Unplug it and plug it back.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
Does that work?
Try turning it on and off again.
It worked.
Of course it did.
Thanks, Apple. Yeah, this is not good.
Sitting around while I figure it out, a way to justify my second chances. Mind wanders far, it keeps landing on you. Who's left to blame this time? Was I a victim of my circumstances? No, I held the smoking gun, but not the bullet that it threw. Painted a picture while I was trying to find another piece of gold. I never figured out that the villain was me. And now you're leaving. I'm not giving up, I'm not giving in, not letting the dark be the reason I give myself for the kind of person that I have been. I can't change for you, so I'll change for me. I'll be alone for now, for this. Words fly like a burning knife into the person who's my only anchor. It wasn't too much weight, but rather the rigidness of my stubborn mind, and I can't stop thinking about it. Regret flows in too late to prevent the things that I said, the things that I meant at the time. But not once I played the tape and painted a picture of what I had in my mind. Another hand to hold. I didn't like what I saw, who I turned out to be. So now I'll leave it. I'm not giving up, I'm not giving in, not letting the dark be the reason I give myself for the kind of person that I have been. I can't change for you, so I'll change for me. I'll be alone for now, for you. Oh, I'm not giving up, I'm not giving in, not letting the dark be the reason I give myself for the kind of person that I have been. And I can't change for you, so I'll change for me. I'll be alone for now, for this. For this.
Definitely has a Nashville sound.
That's something I wrote for like 2 albums ago, and Fox liked it, so we did it very differently. Mine was
Yeah,
almost
because it
like,
had like a drum kit and everything.
yeah, it was like an acoustic hippie jam originally. And that's not really what I wanted it to be anyway. This is closer to the original intent, so I'm glad I did it. So at this point, if you guys want to ask us anything about anything, whether it be this album in particular or just like music production, or if you guys wanted to get an indie album going, we can talk about that. Otherwise, well, we're going to go drink some water and wait for I'm going to wait for the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game. which will not be a big deal unless we lose. If we win, no one cares. But we're the first team to lose to the Browns.
Where are we going to watch it in the block?
We'll either watch it at the bar downstairs. If they're not playing that, then we'll go down the block to.
Just tell the bar to play it down.
They don't have like the ultimate NFL package, and they don't get the right game. They're not going to nationally broadcast the Browns team. That's a regional matchup.
How did you guys originally first get into music?
I started piano lessons when I was like 5, so technically then. But then I got into like pop singing when I joined a band at 16 when I was in high school, because there was like one band in my school, because our senior class was 63 people, so there's not a lot of like mystery. Everyone knows what everyone's doing, and they're like, oh, there's the band, the one band our school could support. Can I be your singer? Like, sure. So we did cover songs for like 3-hour bar sets in Illinois, Pennsylvania. Then started recording my own music when I got a Mac laptop that had a stock microphone in it, so I can record out of that and overdub my voice. Whoa, it's crazy. So start writing, do a little bit in college, and then through the internet I end up finding the fandom, and then by proxy, my man over here.
So I made piano when I was 5, practiced every day, playing songs I heard on the radio. Learned Furry eventually when I was 10 or 12.
sets on big stages.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were a touring pianist.
Yep. Playing a Paul McCartney tribute band.
Yeah.
Played all over the world. It was fun. Got to meet some interesting people. Got to see some interesting places. Very interesting places.
Do you guys still, do you do any work with other bands besides your own recording?
Right now, this is the full-time thing because it's been like so busy for us. Yeah, it's just this now. I'll probably come back to it eventually at some point when we fall out. Or
That's because you do like 3 albums a year besides the stuff you do with me.
yeah, all of our soundtrack work. So. We do have one more song we could play. I don't know if you want to play.
What was left?
Let me.
Oh, that's a fun one though. It's beautiful.
Your grandma said it was beautiful.
Yeah, tell me what your grandma told us about. Tell us about this song cover.
Oh, so like Fox has.
It's a sequel to Fruit Cups.
I'm gonna make it about you.
It's not about me. It's about Katako, technically.
So we wrote this song called Fruit Cups. It's about a vegetarian hyena, and so he eats fruit. And then he's like, what if we did a sequel where all of his hyena friends are peer pressuring him into eating an animal, like into eating not just like meats,
It's a meerkat friend.
and the meerkat's like generally into it. He's like, yeah, you could eat me. That'd be wild. And he essentially challenged me. He's like, you couldn't write a song about war and have it not be cringy and terrible. And I'm like, let's see if we can. And it turned out way too good. Like there's too much effort put into it, which makes it amazing.
It's my turn to run away and kiss.
Bring me back to slow water before I die in an old age. So he actually brought out the synth to do this.
Look around, they're waiting. Inner will is fading. Giving in seems like a witch. Night is cold. Feel around for ages. The haze, it comes in stages. First a touch, then overwhelmed. It only takes a moment. You're sliding down and know that letting go won't hurt a bit. You're alone. Open up your throat and I can peek inside past it all. Let me in and I'll dissolve. Though the planets still revolve, I am one with everything.
We didn't hold back on this album one day.
Do I want to make it out? Pressing in from all around. Warm me, let me in.
It's the most extra solo.
Here comes a choir.
Train your ears for answers. You said you like romancers. Simple as a flash of the metaphor. You are walking down a path, and deep inside you know you won't even flinch. Let me in and I'll dissolve. Though the planets still revolve, I am one with everything. Do I want to make it out? I am one with everything. Do I want to make it out? Pressing in from all around. Warn me, let me in.
I'm not going to do my mistake here. There you have it, a song about culinary delights.
So,
Yeah, the choir sang.
The choir was singing "You Can Do It." Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't plan on them doing that, but then we got done and
We were so ahead of schedule with everything. We were like making them do other random things just for that time.
we're just like, going, can you, okay, it's like this. It's like, okay, I think I get it. Let's go out there. And they did it.
Yeah.
It was really easy to hire like a choir and orchestra, by the way. Like you just emailed a guy and said, hey, I want a choir
really?
and the orchestra. And he's like, okay, how many people, what instruments, and when? You just send him that, and then they're just there. And $75 per person per hour. So the choir was not horrible. The orchestra had 30 people in it, so it was a little bit.
That was
But
more.
for the quality that we received, it was like a deal.
Breathtaking, yeah.
They just nailed stuff first go, and then they'd be like, let's try it again, we can do it better. I'm like, really?
Yeah, it was like, that was perfect. Do
Jeez.
it again.
Did they, do you have to send them music in advance to
Yeah.
practice
No.
and stuff?
Oh, no, we did.
No.
We did not do that this time.
There's no point. They don't have time. They do
They don't,
50
okay.
sessions a
You just
month.
pick it up and go?
Oh, they aren't practicing anything. They don't have the time. They were coming from a different session earlier in the day where they played some other thing they'll never remember doing.
Okay.
Because they'll do 10 sessions a week on an average week.
Wow.
They said it was a little bit slow right now, so they were glad to have the work. Because, you go in, you record a vitamin commercial. You go back out, you're like, oh, we're doing, what is this, FIFA 2016? All right. All right, we're doing Fox and Pepper. That's like in the same day. We're doing some, what was it?
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton was coming in after us.
We made Blake Shelton move his days.
We already had a reserve.
No, yeah, exactly. He tried to
Blake
get
has
our
all
dates.
year.
He tried to get our dates, and we had to turn around and say, sorry, we've got the dates. And he was like, oh.
He can record whatever he wants. I gotta go to work on Wednesday, so we needed those days. It's just weird, because you start to realize, like, multi-million-dollar studios, they don't really make sense to be built anymore because of, you record at home, and when you record at home, you can get about 90% of the quality you can get in a studio anyway. It's only if you don't understand audio engineering or how to run software, then I guess you would need a studio. But at that point, it's just so much easier just learning. So the multi-million-dollar studios are getting held up by partially your Tim McGraws and your Blake Sheltons, but mostly by just schmoes and like dad bands who are like, we're gonna get out there and record our album. Who has money? Who has the money to do a thing? A bunch of retired guys get together and say, our band, we're getting a real studio recording, and they'll do it, and that's more than half of multi-million-dollar studios' work, because there's not enough Madonnas to fill it.
Not enough, Madonna.
Especially if you can record at your house with a setup that costs $3,000. Like, for one day of studio time, I could have an entire rig. But you don't get the, like, $10,000 tape machine we're going to put it through, and the $50,000
microphone.
reverb, and you just...
Or ET's microphones.
Oh, ET's microphones, yeah. Apparently there was like microphones that were used on the original soundtrack recording of ET. Like they were just there. So okay, that's interesting.
It's weird. It's like if you were a photographer and then one day you're like, I'm gonna go and pay and we're gonna get a dark room and we're gonna set up all the chemicals. Like, you don't necessarily need to.
Meth lab.
And yeah, like, doing slate prints. It's cool to do if you have the ability, but entirely unnecessary. If you're gonna be utilitarian about it. But I'm extremely glad we were able to do the thing.
Yeah, it was so cool. Does anybody have any more questions?
What's some of your favorite songs you've done?
On this album or just in general?
In general.
In general. I'm probably recently most proud of some of the stuff that we did in Hashtag. It was one of the less well-known ones, but there was a track in there called Mel Day, and it had like a lot of orchestra on it, and I thought it was very epic, and I was quite happy with that.
It was so long.
And your vocal, like, harmonies in that was insanely good.
I was happy with
That was pretty great.
favorite stuff is probably the best vocal performance I've done in a long time is on that Vor song. The melody I think is fantastic. I think they've done a really good job with a lot of cool. The chords are really neat. It's like simple but not simple. Like, how much time did we have to spend going and relearning, figuring out? Oh wait, what chord is that? Oh, geez.
Oh yeah, it was tricky. It's a tricky song.
I like that a lot. I just like all the other parts of it, and I think the lyrics were the least weird you could have possibly done while still being about it.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch the Disney movie, and it's not Disney, it's non. All Dogs Go to Heaven, the alligator song where he sings about eating the dog, and I'm like, this is terrible. This makes me uncomfortable, and I'm not sure why. Said like half of the fandom as children. This makes me feel funny.
Or
So-
this makes me feel funny.
That's what I'm saying. Go back and watch this old media, and you're like, that's why all these weirdos exist. We've been. The first episode of the Mario Super Show, Bowser's first thing he does is orders 2 people to lick his feet.
What?
That's really what happened.
Are you serious?
The first cartoon episode, he's like, get over there! Get over here. So then 2 shy guys run up and just mash their faces into his feet. And you're like, censor it, please. What's wrong with you?
How did that actually make it past the
Like, that explains you.
Fair enough. Nowadays, it's probably
that
just be
show.
like, you know,
It's
they
that
probably would
2020.
have removed it outright.
So yeah, what are we talking about?
Fetishes and pieces.
Change from music to fetish, yeah.
Music fetishes.
What is happening?
We were talking about how much the Trolls movie, everyone's getting eaten all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The new, like,
It's so
3D
important.
expensive Trolls movie. So there's people being eaten.
My worker was like, on about that.
I'll have to watch it.
Occasionally, they'll be nice and you'll be on a flight where they're just like, watch any movies you want for free. So I watch a lot of weird movies. That's where I see 90% of the movies that I see. That's where I saw, I know what John Wick is. Yes, I see a film for no movies.
Maze Runner.
I did watch The Maze Runner. I don't know. I don't know if I like that one. I got way into the Hunger Games. It was really good. I didn't think I was gonna like that at all. Till we got to movie number 4, and I'm like, we gotta end this. This is going and going. Don't think we need to split that thing into 2 extra movies at the end, but Harry Potter, so let's do it. Everyone's got to be part 1, part 2 with your last sequel now. Did they do 50 Shades of whatever, and then they split the last one into 2? Did they do that? I feel like they should have.
No.
50 Shades Darkerer. The darkestest.
Darkest is the darkest.
Part 4 of the 6-part saga.
Please not.
Will Adrian Gray crashes helicopter. Again. He crashes a helicopter.
It's like sounds like a Family Guy.
They're like, oh no, his helicopter crashed, and they go get him. You're like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. All right. It's not like he's like disfigured or like cut in half or something. Like, I'm in a wheelchair now. Like, that'd be interesting. Will she still hang out with this rich guy if he doesn't have hands or something? Like, that'd be cool. Instead, nah, he's all right. He had to buy a new helicopter.
It's the worst.
Okay, this is why I don't do panels.
Occasions are fun.
Yeah. This is why I only like coming to see you not do panels.
Okay, we're gonna go wheel this speaker back downtown.
We're gonna take this stuff down and do it.
Yeah.
I'll take my over there for you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming out to our panels.
Yep.
We appreciate your being in Minnesota. I don't know if applause is warranted.
Thanks, guy.
Silver Gattoman, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gattoman, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gattoman, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.